We are live, and we got this guy over here, Tutti fucking Fruity. Say it.
Hi, folks. Do you like clowns?
Oh,
Make
God.
me laugh.
Aren't we
fucking funny?
I love you, Greg. That is awesome. Today we're going to be talking all things spooky. We're going to be talking about horror movies. We're going to be ranking horror movies. We're going to be ranking shock rock artists. Should we jump into the lists, or should we talk about what we are going to be reviewing Wednesday at noon?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, Wednesday at noon, me and Gorak are going to be talking about the 2015 horror movie Krampus, since it is getting close to the holiday season.
And he's real. Santa Claus is in.
So what we are going to do for every Wednesday until Christmas, we're going to be reviewing Christmas movies, mostly horror themed. So we're going to be doing Krampus, which is a 2015 horror film about the demonic being that is Krampus. Isn't he like the alter ego of Santa?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a lot of things about Krampus and St. Nicholas in Germany as well.
Yeah.
The 6th of December being St. Nicholas Day.
I'm sorry, Gorak. What were you saying?
Sorry.
Yeah, isn't it like a urban legend myth? Like a story? Yeah.
Yeah. All the bad kids get killed by Krampus, I do believe, is what
that's right. Yeah.
Urban legend is. So we're going to be talking about a lot of horror movies. We are actually going to be reviewing Santa's Sleigh, Tony. You're getting ahead of yourself. Next week, we're going to be doing Santa's Sleigh, which is a horror movie starring Bill Goldberg, pretty much a Krampus type character as well. Now, what should we do? Should we do top 10 shock rock musicians, or should we do top 5 worst horror movies? Because I'm saving the best horror movies for last. Which one should we do? Musicians or worst horror movies?
Worst horror movies, because there's a movie I want to get out of myself.
Okay. For me, I'm going to start with 5. We're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, okay? If you have any to add, Naomi, I know I didn't really talk to you beforehand, and I apologize. If you have any to add,
right.
Go ahead.
I've got a couple to add, yeah.
For me, number 5 on the top 5 worst horror movies ever is Jason Goes to Hell, the final chapter, or the final Friday. Yeah. That one is god awful. And it's hard. It's really weird for me to say that because there's a lot of awful movies I enjoy. But when it comes to a Friday the 13th movie, Jason technically isn't even in it. It's his heart that is possessing people. So it's not even Jason Voorhees. It's his fucking heart. So what would your number 5 be, Greg?
Mine will be... It's hard for me to say shit for a movie because I always give it a go and give my honest opinion. But Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Yeah, that one was bad. And like Tony said, I didn't even add it because I don't notice it as a fucking movie. But the Chucky reboot was bad too.
I thought the Nightmare. I watched the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot. I thought it was okay. But the Friday the 13th remake, no, absolutely not.
That one was
I switched it off after about 5 minutes.
I liked the Friday the 13th one, but I label it as bad because Jason is smart in this one. Like he's never been a smart killer. He just kills. And this one he uses like a crossbow and shit.
I think it was more like the sex scenes in it that were starting. I thought, oh no, switched it off.
Now, I do want to say, to add to what Tony said, the Chucky reboot, the movie was bad, but the TV series is so good. I've been watching it.
That's so good, huh?
I love it. Have you seen it, Gorak?
Yeah, I'm at the season 2, episode 5.
I'm on season 2, episode 3, I think, so don't spoil it. But it's a great series. It actually takes place after the last Child's Play they had?
Yeah, I believe so.
My phone keeps going off, and I know people know I have a podcast. Jason also moved like an NFL linebacker. He did. He moved like an NFL linebacker, and Jason Goes to Hell.
That's true.
Now, Gorak, you said Nightmare on Elm Street was your fifth worst, and Naomi said Friday the 13th reboot?
Yeah.
Or was that vice versa? Sorry.
No, that was correct. Yeah.
Okay. Number 4 for me is another Friday the 13th film. Jason X. AKA Jason Goes to Space. Now, the kill scenes are awesome, but the fact that you made fucking Jason Voorhees a goddamn Star Trek character. Hey, Danielle.
Like I was saying, Darth Vader is Jason Voorhees' dad.
He is, but it's not a good horror film. It was either Jason X or Jason Takes Manhattan, and I prefer Jason on the Titanic over fucking Jason Goes to Space. What do you say the fourth worst movie is, Gorak?
For me,
Mm-hmm.
the Child's Play movie.
I should have put that on the list. Mine's an honorable mention because that one was bad with Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was bad. Did you want to talk about why you think it was bad since it was on your list, or do you want me to rant about this movie? Because I hated this pile of garbage.
Whew. Seems hard to breathe in that fucking thing. Yeah. I didn't like the storyline to it.
Same.
Like, they totally ruined it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, compared to the original, it was a serial killer or something that gets shot, then he gets his soul into the good guy dolls. Then with the reboot, but for the reboot, it's the factory guy that fucks up the doll. It makes it bad and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just dumb. The kills in it wasn't too bad, but like, it was just a god awful movie.
Also, guys, if you want to be part of the show, Tony, I see you're commenting your worst movies. You can join in on the conversation if you want. There is a link below. I agree with what you said, Gorak. Child's Play, as a standalone film, if this guy would have done his own thing with it, it would have been great. If it wouldn't have been a Child's Play movie. But you got rid of the whole him possessing a doll aspect. And you completely changed the fucking story. Mark Hamill deserved better.
Yeah, that's true. But his voice wasn't too bad as Chucky in that movie.
It wasn't, but it made me
acting wasn't that bad either. But it's just this how the storyline was written. It ruined the whole thing.
The movie made me miss Brad Dourif.
Yeah.
Because I fucking love Brad Dourif. And we got somebody joining us. Look who it is, Tony Two Toes. How you doing, brother?
I'm back.
Hey, I thought it was the bass player from Hatebreed a second ago.
So Tony, to catch up, what was your number 5 and number 4 worst horror movies?
All right, number 5, probably that Jason Goes to Space thing, Jason X.
What the fuck, man? Come on.
That's Greg's favorite Friday movie.
Yeah.
It can't be a horror movie if it's funny.
Yeah, it can. Comedy horror.
I guess. Number 4 would probably be that Chucky reboot. That was horrible, guys.
Yeah, that was
awful.
They ruined it.
He's not even possessed by a murderer anymore. It's just an AI chip that freaks the fuck out. It's like the Terminator.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Terminator makes Chucky.
Have you seen the TV series, bro?
No,
you need to. You need to. All right.
Really
Let's get caught up though. We are at number 3. And I get hate for this one, but number 3 for me is Paranormal Activity. any of them. I don't give a shit which one.
Even a horror
Well, the
movie.
first
though?
one was decent.
They are classified horror movies, Tony, and the first one was not fucking decent at all.
Hey, come on, man.
Those movies are about as goofy as the Blair Witch movie.
Yeah,
That one was at least somewhat scary.
the sequel was
It's a
good.
bunch of untrained people with cameras looking at stuff all the time.
I need to make me a horror movie about a stoner. It's about a stoner lost at a festival.
That'd be good.
Where am
And
I
the whole
at,
hour and 20 minutes is like you lost in a festival, like out of your fucking head.
Having all these adventures.
Yeah.
So, Gorak,
Oh,
what was your
man.
number 3 worst horror movie?
My number 3 will be the second Strangers movie, Praise at Night.
I've never seen that one because I knew it was a flaming
It's
pile.
not as good as the first. I thought it was like shit.
How about
Still
you,
watch it though,
Naomi?
every now and then, but it's still shit.
How about you, Naomi? Number
Oh.
3?
Number 3. I haven't made a list. There's a couple, but there isn't many horror films that I don't like. There's a series. There was one of the series of American Horror Story that was, I think it was to do with a nuclear fallout or something.
Apocalypse?
Yeah, I think it was that one. Yeah, the other ones were excellent, and then I got to that one, I just couldn't get into it at all. I know it's not a film, but it's more a series. But yeah, it didn't have the same good storylines like the other ones did. They were excellent, the other ones.
Hey, we're talking all things spooky, so if you want to add honorable mentions, that one's it. How about you, Tony? Number 3 worst horror movie of all time.
I think I screwed up my list a little bit, but that Nightmare on Elm Street one, that reboot,
Yeah,
that one
that
was
was
awful.
pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Like
yeah.
the makeup on Freddy wasn't even all that great. Like it looked like someone went to Arizona without suntan lotion.
I love that description.
It looked like
it kind of looks like when someone went to Australia for the first time during summertime.
Yeah, like I kind of wanted to get into the story, but I just couldn't get past it. Like the Freddy killed it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The acting, the cast wasn't too bad in it though.
I
Right.
prefer Robert Englund.
Robert Englund is God.
That's kind of like when the Chucky movie came out, Child's Play movie came out. I was really interested in Mark Hamill as Chucky, and he deserved a better fucking movie because that man's a legend. But nope, it just didn't hit. Didn't hit.
I like the Chucky voice that he did. It was just that whole movie was needing to thrown in the trash.
It did. They ended up coming out with a. Sorry. They ended up coming out with a Child's Play sequel with Brad Dourif again, and then a TV series. Like they act like that movie never happened.
Because it didn't. It's like Saint Anger.
That's why it's
Hey,
not even on
come
my
on now.
list. I think Metallica needs to re-release Saint Anger, but with real drums.
And solos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a real album.
Yeah.
So number 2 for me, this is when we get into the really horrible horror movies. Sharknado.
What?
A fucking tour.
I don't even think
You're
of that movie as a horror
ridiculous,
movie.
bro.
Fucking Danielle says that her favorite, her bane of her existence is fucking Saint Anger. What the fuck?
All it is Metallica without Kirk Hammett.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and mostly trash can. I think they hired Slipknot's drummer for that album. I like how he went from worst horror movies to worst Metallica album.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do that.
So number 2 for you, Gorak. I'm interested.
Number 2, shit. Halloween 6.
Which one was that?
The Curse of Michael Myers.
Oh fuck. Oh.
That's the one I had when they kill off Jamie Lloyd. When
Yeah.
Michael Myers finds her in a hospital, then like chases after her, and then she crashes her car. Then like she was hiding, then creeps up from behind and just like pushes her in a spike, and then hits the button and just see her fucking just.
Wasn't that the last one of the Curse of Thorn series of Halloween films?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah,
Fucking
and then
awful.
the whole storyline with that was just it was rubbish, and that's where like Tommy Doyle was like all grown up and all that shit, and the guy that played Tommy Doyle is Ant-Man. I'm not joking. Yeah,
dude, I never made that connection, but fuck, you're right.
Yeah, but it's one of the second worst horror films I watched. Still watch it to this day, but it's pretty bad.
How about you, Tony? Number 2.
That Hellraiser reboot.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I've heard mixed reviews.
It's not brutal. I don't really care about Pinhead being a woman. That's not even a factor in my brain when I watch that movie, because it's more of a demonic entity, deity type of character, you know, because it doesn't matter. But that movie was not brutal enough at all.
Compared to the other ones.
Oh yeah, the first few of them, like holy crap! This new one, it was just they made it way too close to a PG-13 movie, if you will.
Well, bro, you do know that it was made by Hulu, which is owned by Disney, which means Pinhead is now a Disney princess.
Oh God!
And then they'll be and they're gonna be doing like Christmas fucking movies of
fucking musicals.
Yeah, musicals. Yeah, musical Pinhead.
Yeah, that Hellraiser. I thought it was the movie itself was good, the story, because it kept with the same thing, but it wasn't brutal enough.
See, I'm weird because I can do graphic. I mean, me and you went and saw 3 from Hell in theaters, but I can't
That's
do
not that
the
graphic.
like. Yeah, but I can't do like the Saw type graphic, like where it's just gory for no reason.
What?
Well, you haven't watched Terrify yet.
I'm not going to probably because I just can't do it.
You can hold my hand and we can watch
Rita
it.
will go to the bathroom because I slipped and now she
Did you have any more bad horror movies, Naomi, or did you want to skip out for the next?
I haven't got many bad horror movies. Most of the ones I've seen have been quite good.
All right. Well, the number 1 worst horror movie ever, if you have not seen it, for me, do not fucking watch it. I've seen it once. Right. It's awful. It is called Troll 2.
I've heard about that, yeah.
The acting in it is god awful. Oh my really God. Bad. They're killing her. Oh no. Like that kind of acting.
It wasn't the more comedies, but I didn't like the scary movies.
Oh, I loved them.
The first 2 were good.
Fucking Shorty getting rolled up by a weed plant.
I've only seen the first one. I haven't seen the other ones, but the first one I didn't like so much. I think there was too much toilet humor in it for my liking. It was.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, but also it was weird for the first one because wasn't it the first one that made fun of Scream?
Yes, it was. Yeah. Yeah, those bits were okay in it when, you know, and saw the Scream where it made fun of Scream, and that was good. But
I forgot to even add that new Scream movie they did.
Scream
I've
5.
not seen that.
That was atrocious.
Really?
I didn't think it was that bad.
Give it a miss then.
Let's just start killing off main characters because we have nothing else better to do.
Yeah.
Well, you heard about the new one.
Movie.
Did you hear about the new one, Tony?
Yeah, it doesn't have Nev Campbell in it, so it's not a Scream movie.
She's not in it, and it's not taking place. It's not taking place in the same area. They're going to Manhattan, New York, bro.
So they might
I'm good on that.
They might run into Jason.
They're gonna start doing Jason stuff now.
Yeah, pretty much. They're running out of ideas.
Ghostface in space, bro. Ghostface in space.
That could happen.
So what's your number 1 worst horror movie, Greg?
Halloween Ends.
I second that.
What's that? Have you seen it, Tony?
Halloween Ends was horrible.
It was. I saw it at the theaters on the second day of the premiere, and I was really looking forward to it. And I knew that Jamie Lee Curtis was saying at an interview, "This how the movie ends will piss people off," and it did.
I heard
she wasn't wrong.
I heard that everything from the beginning to the end pissed people off.
Yeah.
The whole movie.
It did. This is what I don't understand with that fucking movie. Why didn't they pick it up from where Kills was, what they did with the 2018 one?
Yeah.
You know what
it
I
takes
mean?
place years after the fact.
Yeah, but instead, I felt like, and I said this on my friend's podcast as well a few weeks ago. I felt like that they ran out of ideas with this one and just recycled everything from the first three or first four Halloween movies and recycled it and put it in this one because it looks like everything from Ends looked like I was watching from Halloween 1, 2, and 3 and 4.
I have a question.
Yeah, but it also seemed like Michael and the main character was just like background characters throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, because the director said he wanted to do something different. He wanted to do like a Halloween free vibe.
I have a question though, because I was talking to a friend of mine. There's not a lot of Michael Myers in this movie, is there?
No, there was a copycat.
Like I heard he's hardly even in it.
Yeah, he was pretty much in a cave.
That's fucking odd.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to watch it.
It's like Todd McFarlane's supposed to do a new Spawn movie, right? But like he was saying in an interview that he doesn't want Spawn to be the main character. He wants him to be in the background doing shit,
Why?
I don't know.
That's like coming out with that's like having a Deadpool movie with no Deadpool.
Yeah.
No, there'd be a Deadpool in it, but he'd be in the background doing shit and he wouldn't be the main character,
That's stupid though. Like I don't get it. Like why not just make a movie based around another character?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's fucking on. We're gonna kind of get away from the movies for a little bit because since we do listen to a lot of music, we do have top 10 shock rock musicians. I don't know if you have any you want to add, Tony, or you can add your own conversation to the artist that we are listing. But number 10 for top 10 shock rock musicians for me would be Ice Nine Kills. I know they're not.
I heard of them. They're cool.
They didn't start off as shock rock. They only kind of turned into that, but they do a lot of horror movie themed shit. So I really enjoy their stuff.
Isn't it sort of like, I know like the music's based like on horror movies because I've been listening to them for a little bit. Aren't they sort of like dressed up like Patrick Bateman or something?
Depends on the music video and the lyrical content. They haven't always done lyrical content like that, but they started, and I really love it. I love it.
Yeah, they sound pretty cool though. I dig it.
Do you listen to Ice Nine Kills, Tony?
I have in the past, yeah.
They're really fucking good.
I haven't listened to them yet.
Think of them as the Wiggles, but heavy.
They have an album called Silver Scream or something like that. It's a really good album. Go check that out. Who would you say is the number 10 best shock rock musician, Greg?
The Banana Split. No, I'm joking. I'll probably put Slipknot up there.
Slipknot?
Yeah.
Slipknot, I didn't even put Slipknot on my list because I didn't really know if I should consider them shock rock. I know the makeup and shit.
Yeah, but, the image kind of sells it a bit.
Yeah,
and the shit they do on stage as well is kind of cool. It's theatrical.
Between them and Mushroom Head, pretty much. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, Slipknot's up there, and I've only seen Slipknot once, like 30 seconds at a music festival.
Tony, since you weren't really prepared for this, you can just name a shock rock musician off the top of your head. Who would you put on the list of top 10 shock rock musicians at number 10?
I think number 1's Alice Cooper, number 2's Marilyn Manson, and everything else just kind of falls together.
That one was what my thinking was as well. Yeah, same.
See, mine was a little.
And Slipknot somewhere in the after Alice Cooper and Marilyn Manson.
Mine was a little different. Marilyn Manson is actually lower on the list than that for me, but we will get to that. Number 9 for me, we're going to kind of rush through this since Tony and Naomi just don't care after 1 and 2. Number 9 for me is the guy that pretty much started it all, not Alice Cooper. A lot of people say Alice started it all. Now, Alice started it all when it comes to the theatrical side, but Arthur Brown, he's the guy that sung "I Put a Spell on You."
Yeah.
He'd come out with a skull head or whatever. Oh, he did the fire. No, never mind. That's Screaming Jay Hawkins. Arthur did fire. Sorry, I got way ahead of myself. Jay Hawkins is number 8 for me. So Arthur Brown's the one that did fire. He'd come out with an on fire helmet with makeup.
Yeah.
And then number 8 for me was Screaming Jay Hawkins, which was the guy that came out of a coffin with the smoking head. Since I already mentioned him, he did. I Put a Spell on You. Who would you put as number 9 and 8, Greg?
Number 9 would be Kiss. And what I mean by Kiss, like the early Kiss, not the tribute band Kiss.
Chris.
And like you got to go with the OG, right? Like anything from the first 3 or 4 albums by Kiss is the best, and then they kind of just went down here.
Yes.
I mean, I even look it up a little bit. Like that's where it is. For me.
That's like Bon Jovi vibe-ish a bit, but still cool.
I really enjoyed their darker stuff that they did.
Like Revenge and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like Unholy and those songs.
Yeah, that's a good album as well. But some of the 80s stuff that they brought out with Bruce Kulick when he started the band's not too bad either. Like,
by the way, I'm going to get a lot of hate for my list because Kiss ain't even on my list. They're not even on my radar when it comes to shock rock bands.
Well, when they took off their makeup, it was shock rock, right? No, I'm joking.
Yeah, fucking shocking.
Like, oh my God, they're old.
Yeah. I'll give you that one, dude. I like that.
Who would you put at number 8, Greg? You said 9 was Kiss, right?
Yeah. Number 8, I'll probably go with Gorak.
Oh, Gorak is on my list, but I ranked them pretty high.
They'd have to be number 3
too. So,
what was that, Tony?
They'd have to be number 3 for me.
Number 3 for me, yes, and I will get to that. Number 7 is Wasp. Their music weren't necessarily shock rock, but he would come out with a saw and he'd have fucking animal parts flying and all kinds of shit. So yeah, Wasp. What?
Blackie Lawless would come out with that?
Yeah, he back in the, I believe in the late 80s, early 90s, he'd come out with a saw on his crotch and he would like saw fucking animal parts and shit on stage and do all kinds of crazy shit.
Jesus.
Yeah, they were a wild band back in the day. How about you, Gorak? Number 7.
Whew. Number 7. See, now it's getting tricky. It's getting a little bit hard. I'll go Misfits.
Misfits, fair. Yeah. They're the kings of horror punk.
Yeah. They'll classify as the shock rock group as well.
I like them. Gigi Allen is not shock rock. That's I will throw shit at you. That's
fucked up rock.
That's man. I hope you don't go to his shows on a full stomach because you'll have plenty to eat. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, number 6, Lordy. For me it was Lordy.
Artist?
No, they're pretty much Gwar, but with instead of aliens, they're monsters.
I've heard of them, yeah.
They do the song Hard Rock Hallelujah. I'd put them on that list.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So how about you, Greg?
Ooh, shock rock.
Number 6.
Cradle of Filth.
Yes, that is a great fucking choice.
Is that
It's
shock
been a
rock?
while since I listened to him, but yeah.
Tony, have you seen their shirts?
I've
That's
kicked out of the
shocking.
mall for wearing their
Yeah,
shirt.
they're definitely shocking.
Tony got kicked out of the mall for wearing one of their shirts, as he just said.
Oh, really?
The mall
And
that I bought the
right.
shirt.
And I thought, like, by wearing this shirt says, well, shit the bed with Captain Spaulding's face in the front. I thought I'll probably get kicked out of the mall for that.
No, he got kicked out of the mall, like he said. I don't know where Tony went, but he disappeared.
Oh,
he got kicked out of the mall for wearing that shirt, and he bought the fucking shirt at the mall. I don't know where Tony went, but he was having kind of spotty service, so he might have just lost service.
Canceled.
We haven't kicked him out for wearing a Cradle of Filth shirt.
All right, for me, number 5 is kind of a tie. Because I didn't want to put this guy on the list due to the controversy going on, but it'd be bad to not put him on the list. So number 5 is either Misfits or Marilyn Manson. Manson has been going.
Manson was my next pick too.
Now he has some controversy going on, so it's either Misfits or Marilyn Manson, whichever you prefer.
Well, I chose Misfits before, but Marilyn Manson would be the next one for me, for sure.
Welcome back, Tony.
Welcome
YouTube
back.
crashed.
Yeah, I figured you were being you're kind of spotty, so I figured you were gonna crash on me.
Yeah. YouTube crashed.
For number 5, due to the controversy, I picked either Marilyn Manson or Misfits, and Gorak picked Manson.
Oh, all right.
All right, number 4 is 2 bands, but technically 1 musician, if that makes any sense. It's Wednesday 13 and the Murder Dolls. I'm going to group them both together.
Yeah.
I'm going to group them together because his solo stuff is very much Murder Dolls-esque.
With a slash of 80s. You know?
Yeah. So Wednesday 13 and the Murder Dolls. If you haven't listened to Wednesday 13's solo stuff, do it. His latest album's fucking heavy.
It's good though. One of the songs has like that 80s Motley Crue vibe.
Yeah. Speaking of Motley Crue, they got rid of Mick Mars for John 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, Mick Mars is retired from touring
retired.
now.
Can we just throw out the whole band? Can we just throw out the whole band and get a new one?
No, just throw out Vince Neil. Can we just say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Corabi, bring him back.
Yeah. Or James Michael.
If you're not gonna care about the band, then why are you gonna show up and like scream angrily and drunk into a microphone?
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I said to
guys...
Mike, like I said to Mike, it's like, out of everybody in that Motley Crue band now, John 5 is the only one that's talented.
You know what they should do? They should do what Kiss does and play to a backing track. At least I'd understand why. Vince Neil sucks, so we're going to play to a backing track.
Yeah.
They should do that and not tell Vince they're doing it.
and just cut his mic.
Yeah. But then you know he's lip syncing because he's not even anywhere near where the part of the song is.
Yeah. Well, when the chorus hits and then he's just like this and you can hear his voice in the background.
And there's always the crowd as well to sing along.
Did you guys see that fucking video of Bon Jovi? He was on stage singing, but his mic wasn't on for half of the show and he didn't know it.
Yeah.
He was standing up there posing and shit and putting his microphone out and being the showman that he is, but no vocals.
Unless he
I
puts
missed
more of
that.
a
That
show
was
on
my
him,
thing froze.
at least he puts on more of a show than like what fucking Vince Neil does.
Yeah, he climbs on the back of chairs and shit. And Naomi, what I was saying is Bon Jovi performed one time live with no audio.
Ah, right, yeah.
All right, number 3, as I said, Gwar. You can't have a top 5 list without Gwar. You can't have a top 10 list without Gwar. They are essentially the gods of 80s, 90s, and early 2000s shock rock. And they're independent. Like they fucking pay out of pocket for everything.
Yeah.
And they have like one of the most awesome throwdowns ever, the Gorbecue.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like
They
that.
also have their own beer, Guar beer. They have their own cannabis. They have like everything. They're like Kiss if Kiss had talents.
Wait, which era Kiss?
No, I meant like artistic talent, like to make their own costumes and shit.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
So are we gonna go with Gore as like the whole, or are we gonna go with like classic era Dave Brokey?
See, it gets touchy subject because the current era of Guar technically is similar to Brocky's era because the guy who played Beefcake and wrote a lot of the original shit is the current Blothar who's singing for the band. So it's kind of still the original band, but it's not. If I had to pick an era, I would always go with Brocky, but I really do enjoy the new guy. So I'll go with Guar as a whole.
Fair enough.
Now you said your top two is Alice Cooper and Manson. You
Yep.
already know Alice Cooper's number one for me. He always will be. But number two for me is Rob Zombie.
Yeah. I was gonna pick Rob Zombie or the Wiggles.
Oh, Rob Zombie, yeah.
Yeah.
Greg said the Wiggles.
Would you put White
the
Zombie in
trick?
there?
Come on, Dorothy the Dinosaur. That's shocking.
White Zombie I will group with Rob.
Fair enough.
Now I'm really excited because Mike Riggs is back with Rob. I'm interested in that new album.
I haven't seen him. He must be really busy, man.
I bet he's fucking working for Rob again.
Yeah, he is
Dude,
bringing back the. Have you seen his Instagram post that he's bringing back the Pig's Blood guitar?
Is he really?
No.
Yeah, he is.
Fucking cool.
Yeah, he
No,
comes
I
into the
love when I saw
dealership every
that.
once in a while and trades his bike in for a new one, like all the time.
Really?
Is there?
Why?
He collects them.
Does he still have his dreads?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
They're
Oh,
big,
yeah.
dude. He's got a mustache as well that twirls up.
Dude,
He's
that's
got a
fucking cool.
legendary stash.
Yeah, but it's just his dreads are like a lot more bigger than what it was when he was with Rob Zombie 20 years ago.
Damn, like his
they're
whole head's
huge, dude. And he's got a beard that's like down here or something like that.
Jesus.
Yeah, you
That-
can see
you know,
footage of it on YouTube.
The only thing I'll say to that is I'm happy for Mike Riggs going back to Rob Zombie, but it sucks that it had to take John 5 moving out.
True,
Yeah.
because John, they could have switched. Like he could have done rhythm, John could have done lead, and then switch.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
honestly, hasn't Rob Zombie always been a 4-piece though? He's always had the bassist, guitarist, drummer, and then him.
Yeah,
Even with White Zombie, it's been that way.
but like if you listen to like the studio tracks of Rob Zombies, there's like multiple guitar tracks, so you could
True.
easily put in a second guitarist to play those backing those other guitar tracks in those songs.
Yeah, and Danielle, as me and Greg have said over the course of a few weeks, is now with John being in Motley, he's now the most talented member the current lineup has. He has
But
more
he's not talented
and
enough
less
to cover
ego.
up that really horrible singing.
I think they should. The lineup of Motley Crue, if you're going to keep the crew going, should be Nikki Sixx on bass, Tommy Lee on drums, John 5 on guitar, and either John Corabi on vocals or Sebastian Bach. And just fucking roll with it.
Yeah,
Like
And
John
there's
5
also-
has
Yeah.
John 5 has more fucking talent in his fucking left nut than that band does in their entire bodies.
Dude, he totally do, man. It's crazy.
yeah. But you know what
He-
was really funny when there was rumors going around, and John 5 at first was like, they were just rumors.
He has to do that legally though.
Yeah. But
Sworn to,
we
like,
all
secrecy.
knew that he was going. It was going to happen. It kind of gave a he was kind of giving away hints at his fucking solo shows when he was playing Motley Crue songs.
Well, he did that before, though. He would do it at shows.
But like he was doing them more often, though. You know what I mean? Like when his last couple of tours. But he's coming to Australia in December with Jared James Nichols.
If you had to,
leaves me with more questions than answers, though, because like, you know what happened with Judas Priest and.
Oh, Tony's gone.
There you are. Welcome back.
You guys know what happened with Judas Priest and Glenn Tipton, right?
Yeah, he has Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or something, don't he?
Well, he would come out and play for like a minute little bit, just for a couple songs or whatever, at every other show. I wonder if they'll let Mick Mars do that, or is he like completely done?
He's done. He said he's retired.
Yeah. That's a shame.
What makes me sad though is he was working on a solo album for like a decade. Is that shelved too?
I don't know. I've not read any mention of that, so we'll see.
Because I've been keeping up with it. Originally, it was going to be Mick Mars and John Corabi on an album together, and then John Corabi dipped out. He got a new vocalist, and then nothing was heard of it since.
Yeah. Just going back to, I was going to say about shock rock artists, Ozzy Osbourne as well, Prince of Darkness.
Yes, Ozzy and Sabbath are on the honorable mentions. I was going to put them as top 10, but the reason why I didn't is because, yes, they were shocking at the time, but their live shows weren't necessarily...
Not necessarily, no,
that of shock rock. Their lyrics were.
Yeah.
But not... Yeah. And Ozzy solo wasn't really shock rock in a way of his live... It was the opposite of... It was the opposite of Sabbath. Sabbath, their lyrics were shocking, but their live shows weren't. And then Ozzy's solo stuff, the lyrics weren't shocking, but his live shows were.
Exactly, yeah. I thought he deserved a mention as well because he's, he
does.
They are.
He would be number one.
Shock rock, No,
he would have been number one if his lyrical content matched the live show.
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of weird. I'm just a dreamer as he's pissing on stage and shit.
Yeah. Things he did were quite shocking, yeah.
Oh, he backs off the head of a friggin' bird and he goes, I'm just a dreamer.
What were you saying, Tony?
No, I said his stage show when he was playing Mr. Crowley was really close.
Yeah. With the whole like
the floating keyboard player and shit.
Yeah, that song was. He had a few songs that were spooky. Diary of a Madman was a little spooky of a song.
It was a very dark album.
It was a dark album. That was like his "Hey, I'm fucked up on drugs" album. All right, we have one more list to go through. We have top 10 horror movies. You guys ready to bust through this?
Oh, dude. There's gonna be movies that you'd be like, dude, what the fuck?
Oh, I've got a few, and I am including psychological thrillers in this list, even though you wouldn't consider them horror movies.
And I've watched a couple of new horror films
I've got a few psychological ones,
and they've actually been pretty good. So,
all right, so number 10, and the fact this made the list might shock some people, but number 10 is Halloween 3: Season of the Witch.
Yeah, that's up there. That's pretty much Halloween 3: Season of Witch was pretty much Halloween Ends.
But it actually made more sense to the story, even though it had nothing to do with it.
It's like, I don't know if you noticed that, Tony. The opening titles at the beginning and the end of Halloween Ends was pretty much like Halloween 3.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. He was going for that vibe.
What was your number 10?
Mine. Number 10 will probably be Halloween H2O.
That was a good one.
It's one of my favorites. LL Cool J, come on, man.
How about you, Tony? Number 10.
I'm going to throw you for a loop on this one. Bones.
Good. Bones? That made your list?
Yeah. Great.
What, the TV show Bones?
No. The Snoop Dogg horror movie.
Snoop Dogg horror movie.
Ah.
Check it out.
By the way, hi Facebook user. If you want to put your name below, that'd be awesome because Facebook sometimes won't let me know who you are.
Zach Zackenberg, probably.
Ghost.
I've honestly not seen all the way through Bones, but I didn't think that'd be on anybody's top 10 list. Is it good?
I think it's pretty good.
I'll have to watch it. How about you, Naomi? Number 10.
Oh, I haven't got any in particular order, but I think one that's it's a very, very old one. Amityville Horror. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Hi, Matt. That's Matt Cooper. For some reason, it's not popping up his name. Normally, I see him on YouTube. Hi, Matt. Love you, brother. But what did you say, Naomi? Sorry, I saw his comment.
Amityville Horror. Very old film, but it was a very good one. I enjoyed that.
It is. It's a classic.
Yeah.
The original one?
Yes.
Not the one of the 20 of them that they made.
The reboot was pretty cool. That was the first one that I watched. But yeah, I thought it was cool.
Love you, Matt. Thanks for tuning in. Number 9 for me is Jim Carrey's The Number 23. It is a classic in my opinion, and it is a very underrated horror film. It even made my underrated list.
Nice.
How about you, Gorak?
Mine will probably be Army of Darkness.
Fucking great film. I don't know why, but I couldn't squeeze Evil Dead on this list. I don't know why. I just couldn't. Because I had so many great films that, like, a lot of these movies I listed because, like, I wanted to put some modern in there. I wanted to put some underrated. So, yeah, Army of Darkness, though, was the best, in my opinion, of the Evil Dead series.
Yeah, that was more leaning towards the comedy side of things.
And that's why I liked it.
A bit. Yeah. But it's a good movie. Fucking very underrated. But,
very underrated.
You know, everybody's favorite now. You know,
so since Tony picked Bones for 10, I'm having a feeling it's gonna be like a Tales from the Crypt movie for number 9. What the? What's number 9?
Safe show.
John Carpenter's Vampires.
Oh yeah, John Carpenter. You got to go with the classics. God damn. Naomi, how about you? Number 9.
Number 9. I haven't got them in any particular number order, but there's another one I saw. The Fly, the 80s. That's a good film.
That's a good one. Honorable mention for me, real quick, before I forget. Birds.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah,
it's not on my list, but Alfred Hitchcock's Birds is another really good horror movie.
Jeff Goldblum played in The Fly, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yes.
That was before he started acting all rapey.
Jeff Goldblum as an actor is weird because he always sounds like he forgot his role, his script. Like he's like, like he always seems so lost. Number 8, Midsommar. I don't know if you've seen Midsommar, but it is a great film. It takes place in Sweden.
Ah, cool.
During Midsommar, it's a fucked up movie. But how about you, Greg? Number 8.
Number 8, I will probably go with my man, House of a Thousand Corpses, Captain Spaulding.
Damn, you ranked it that low?
Well, it's hard because there's like so many other good movies out there too.
True. But I ranked it a little higher than that.
Yeah, but it was either that or Devil's Rejects.
Devil's Rejects was good too. So Tony, we will get to a House of Thousand Corpses once we all rank them because I know it's got to be on Tony's list too. What is number 8 for you?
Probably Evil Dead.
Yeah, that was a good
reboot or
it's got to be the OG. I think Tony's more of an OG guy.
Okay.
The OG Evil Dead?
Yeah, the first one.
Okay. That one was amazing.
That was amazing. The reboot was cool.
What were you gonna say, Tony?
I said you gotta have just a little bit of respect for like the first ones, the OGs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, I was more of an Army of Darkness guy growing up, but I do appreciate and enjoy the first Evil Dead. How about you, Naomi? We got number 8. I know you don't have a particular order, but just name a horror movie.
Resident Evil films, they were good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. You rank them all together as one?
I think the very first ones, when it's all like when the story starts out, they're the best.
Nemesis is probably definitely the best one.
But, I enjoyed all of them really.
I love Resident Evil, but I don't think I've seen other than the first movie. I'll have to.
Oh, the TV series was trash.
I heard it was garbage.
I've not seen the series. I've just seen the films.
I finished it, but it was trash.
So number 7 for me would have to be the original 1988 Child's Play.
Yeah.
That was a damn good film. And whoever was in charge of making the reboot can fucking lick my taint, because the shit was fucking steaming hot pile of garbage. And fucking, I don't think Brad Dourif could have saved that goddamn movie.
No.
And it proved that Don Mancini, how do you pronounce his name? Don Mancini?
I think it's Mancini. Yeah.
He's the original writer of Child's Play and the current director of all the movies other than the reboot. It proves he has a lot to do with the fucking success of these goddamn movies.
Yeah, and I like the fact that he decided to go a different direction after the third Chucky film or fourth Chucky film. Child's Play movie made it like a standalone Chucky film and made it into like, how he started having a girlfriend and all that shit with Tiffany and having a kid and all that. I thought that was kind of cool.
Another thing I think is cool about Child's Play is they are also a big LGBTQ movie, because they are the first horror movie to acknowledge transsexuals in their movies. They're the first horror movie to have gay couples in their movies and TV shows.
And
like
they actually. The first ones to have doll sex.
Yes, doll sex is very important. That is the. Did you bring a rubber? Tiff, I'm made of rubber.
Yeah. A lot of cheesy good lines in that movie.
Good lines.
That one was from what? Seed of Chucky.
Yeah.
Seed or Bride of Chucky. It's one of those two.
What was your number 7 pick, Gorak?
Number 7, I'm going with Noami, the Barbarian. That just came out recently. It's on streaming for you guys on HBO, I think it is. But it's still in theaters here in Australia, but I downloaded it. But
I'd have to check it out.
It's actually pretty good, man. It's it has the guy that plays Pennywise, What's his name?
Oh, nice.
Bill.
Bill Hader.
Yeah, he gets his head smacked against the wall.
Damn.
And shit, it's pretty brutal, but it's a good movie.
Shit, Tony, what would your number 7 pick be?
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, that's a fucking classic. You're going with the old school films. I love it.
I like the older stuff, man.
Did they do like Dracula 2000 or whatever it was?
Yeah. Pantera.
Is that a reboot or is that like a sequel?
I think it's a sequel. Don't correct me if I'm wrong, but I know Pantera did a track for that movie.
Oh, badass!
Oh, nice.
I think I heard about that.
It's a pretty good tune too.
Oh, sick.
What was your next horror movie pick, Naomi?
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. That was excellent.
There we go.
Yeah, that movie.
I know there's been a few remakes of it, and there was one in particular. I can't remember which one it was, but that was good. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Speaking of older horror movies, did you guys know that Nosferatu, the original, just turned 100 years old this year?
No shit.
1922 was when that fucker came out.
Wasn't that like one of the first silent horror movies?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you can actually watch a remastered color version of it on YouTube.
It's also
Of
on
it.
Stan, I think, if you're in
Oh, is it?
Australia. Yeah, I do believe.
I'm watching it on my
Num-
lunch break today.
number 6 for me is The Shining.
Yeah.
Here's Johnny. Fucking that movie is what caused him to go fucking mentally insane. Like,
I'm not gonna hurt you. I just want to bash your brains in.
Yeah.
the fuck in. Such a quotable movie too. Not to like your spouse or anyone, but it's such a quotable movie.
Depending on the day
Have
of
you
the week.
seen? Have you seen? I've seen a T-shirt. It's the band Ghost did something similar to that, and then it has the girl like next to the door and the cracked door, and with the door that's cracked open, and it's got Tobias Forge's face, and at the top goes, "Here, Papa."
So Gorak, what was your number 6?
Number 6, I would have to go with Jordan Peele's Get Out.
Great film.
Very trippy.
That was a rough movie to watch.
Yeah, it was. But how fucked up when that scene when was it the deer that was in front of them, or they ran over the deer, whatever it was, and the cop pulled him over, and like accused the chick's boyfriend for hitting the deer, or about his headlight or some shit like that when like he wasn't driving or something like that. They had a lot of that movie had like a lot to do with like racism and shit like that.
Have you seen the movie? Have you guys seen Nope yet?
Yes.
Nope.
Dude, it's so good though, Tony. Come on, you got to turn that Nope into a Yep.
That's a sequel.
I'll get around to it.
That's a sequel. Yep.
What is your number 6, Tony?
Man, the original was great, but the newest Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Yeah. Well, wait, the Netflix one?
Yeah.
Really?
I heard that.
I really did that movie.
Oh, I should have put that in one of my worst ones, but yeah. Because like that was like a direct sequel from the first one, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was okay. The bus scene was pretty cool though.
Well, the only thing I have wrong with it is it kind of like retconned all the other movies except for the first one.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they did that with Halloween 3 times.
Yeah,
I mean,
on end.
they have how many different timelines for Halloween? Like 2 or 3?
Okay, we're gonna dive into this again. All right. Halloween 1 came out, and it was supposed to be the only Halloween movie that came out, but John Carpenter was forced into doing a sequel, so he did the sequel, killed Michael Myers. So then we entered Halloween 3, which has nothing to do with any of them. Then we have Halloween 4, 5, and 6, which is its own storyline, but they're also a direct sequel to 1 and 2. Then enter Rob Zombie's Halloweens, of course. And then we have Halloween H2O, which was before Rob Zombie's Halloween. Sorry, I got way ahead of myself. Halloween H2O came out. That retconned anything other than 2. So it goes 1, 2, H2O, then Resurrection. Then when Rob Zombie came out with those 2, that's its own thing. And then we have Halloween that came out in 2018, which retconned anything besides the first Halloween movie. We have Halloween now. 1, Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends.
Halloween is like the Legend of Zelda of horror movies.
They're like the fucking Star Wars of timelines, bro.
I was gonna say the Star Wars or Lord of the Rings.
Oh god.
Everything's retconning. All right, what's your next movie, Naomi?
Hang on.
Sorry.
Well, I think it's happening now. It's my home office. I heard somebody knocking and I looked, nobody there. Anyway,
what were you
yeah,
gonna say,
it's
Greg,
Halloween.
before Naomi does hers?
I was going to say, Tony, out of the last 3 Halloween films, which one would you pick from good to shit?
Kills is the better one. The one before that is second, and then Ends is the worst.
Yeah. See, I would have to go with 2018 was by far the decent one, I think.
Yeah.
Dude, we're gonna have to do a whole like episodes on like top 10 worst or best to worst Halloween movies, Friday the 13th movies.
But my next movie is Velocipaster. Boom.
Oh, stop that. Naomi, what was your movie?
My movie.
Yeah, what was your next one?
The Exorcist.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is good.
Which one? The original?
Yeah.
Okay. Because Halloween 3 is the worst one of the series, but that was Jeffrey Dahmer's favorite movie, I guess. So he didn't have good taste. We were at number 5. Gorak said Velocipaster. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Number 5. 6. No, we just did number 6. I did The Shining.
Yeah, number 6 is Velocipaster for me.
Oh, okay. How about number 5? For me, it's Friday the 13th. The OG. No Jason Voorhees killing. It's his fucking mom. That is mine.
Number 5 will probably be Terrifier 2.
I heard that a lot.
Like it's getting a sequel, and Chris Jericho was in the end credits.
So Chris Jericho is going to be Art the Clown in the next movie?
No, he played as like a doctor or something like that.
Did he die, or is he going to be in the movie?
No. He just has I think he only had like a 5-minute role at the end credits, because you know how like in the Marvel movies how there's like an end credit, like a little bonus ending scene or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then they do the credits. That's what they did with Terrifier 2. But Terrifier 2 is probably one of the best horror movies that came out this year. And I'm not just saying that because of all the blood and gore. But anyway.
I can't do how gory it is. I've had people tell me how gory it is, and just them telling me about it fucks me up.
Yeah, well, I did some research on it, and the director said that he wanted to do something that's different, like a lot different with like clown movies and stuff. But he wanted to do Art the Clown, and he wanted to do like Art the Clown like Pennywise, but just doesn't speak.
That's fucking.
But still
crazy.
has that same. But still have that same humor.
Well, I've seen clips of Art, and he's fucking terrifying.
Well, that's what's called the Terrifier.
Like shit. How about you, Tony? Number 5. We're in the top of the top.
Poltergeist.
The remake or the original?
The original.
The original.
I've heard stories about that movie, man. It's pretty crazy.
It's a crazy movie. The remake is pretty good too, if you get a chance.
Yeah.
They're both pretty good. How about you, Naomi? Your next one.
Oh, 5. Sixth Sense. I know it's more like a psychological one, but that was good.
That was cool, yeah.
Yeah, the twist at the end, that was brilliant.
I see dead people.
Get out of here.
Number 4, the original Nightmare on Elm Street, starring Johnny Depp. Classic.
That's one of his first movies, wasn't it?
Was his first movie, other than when he. Yeah. His first role ever though was 21st Jump Street. But it was a TV series, so his first movie ever was his actual first role ever was in a Tom Petty music video.
Oh, nice.
How about you, Gorak? Number 4.
Number 4, I go with the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That was so fucking good.
Yeah.
How about you,
that
Tony?
Movie was fucking great.
Let's see. Number 4?
Yep, number 4. We're almost to the end of this one.
Probably do the first Halloween.
That was good. That was actually and I'm going to get to that next, but that is the only slasher horror film that didn't have blood or violence. And
They had
Naomi.
a little bit of violence, but not too much of it, though.
Yeah, but no blood at all.
Yeah.
How about you, Naomi?
It's a series, Black Mirror, like a psychological series. That was really good.
That was crazy. I've only
Yeah.
seen 3 episodes of it, but fuck.
Yeah. Yes,
They're making a
that's the
movie.
one that's like, it gets in your mind.
I heard they're making a movie, aren't they?
I think I heard that, yeah.
Black Mirror.
But very
Number
good
3
series.
Number 3 for me is Halloween. The original. And like I said, there's no blood, there's a little bit of violence. Now, it was a low budget film. I don't know if anyone realizes this, but it was a low budget John Carpenter film. And it had such a low budget that they couldn't even afford to have a mask made. The mask from Halloween is actually a Captain Kirk mask painted white. It's William Shatner.
Yeah,
Fucking-
there is like a doco thing on it on YouTube you can watch.
Yeah, and you can actually look up. They have a side-by-side comparison of the original mask.
Mm.
But anyway, Gorak, number 3.
Rob Zombie's Halloween.
That was good. I liked it. A lot of people hated it. But now that the new Halloween's out, Rob Zombie's been posting a lot of fucking memes about it.
Yeah, I know, it's hilarious. And he hasn't watched it either.
No, have you seen that, Tony?
Yeah.
He's like, you guys thought mine was bad.
Yeah. I think he kind of refuses to watch the last 3 Halloween movies that were released.
Because he said he's burnt out on it.
Yeah.
Hell, I read somewhere that he was forced to do the second one. He didn't want to do the second one.
Probably that's the reason why I didn't give it 2K. Like, didn't really give too much of a shit with it. Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard. How about you, Tony? Number 3.
Number 3, the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nice. That is a great one. Oh, did I skip you, Greg, or did you say 1?
That was number 4 for me. So I'm up to my 3rd one now.
Okay. I'm sorry I skipped you. Tony said
Okay.
Nightmare on Elm Street. What was yours, Greg?
Mine would be Scream.
Oh yeah,
First
fucking
Scream
classic.
movie. That was like one of that one was the introduced to horror for me, and I was like 12 years old when that came out.
Dude, Nightmare on Elm Street scared the fuck out of me as a kid.
Yeah, but yeah,
That's-
Scream
Makes you
Scream
definitely
is the
not
one
want to
that
go
got
to
me into
sleep,
horror.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
Right? Now, I know Tony's favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie is Dream Warriors, but
classic.
just because of the soundtrack.
The movie was good too.
We're your dream warriors.
You can't listen
about-
to that song without picturing me and Dave and Tights playing in a glam band.
That's an image I
I'll watch that.
want to get out of my head, but I can't.
Dimples
I'll
and
watch
all.
Anyway, Naomi, what was your number 3 horror movie?
I'm not sure whether I do 4.
For 4, I did Nightmare on Elm Street.
All right, I can't remember doing. I know my last one, I think, was the 5th.
Do 4 and 3.
I'll do
Just
4
out of
and
order.
3. Yeah, I've got a couple for that. 4, Eraserhead. Now that's more of a psychological one as well.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Have you not
Razorhead?
seen that? Eraserhead, yeah.
I've not seen that.
Yeah, I know it was years ago. My brother had he was into like the really psychological like thriller films, and he introduced me to that, and that is it's like you sit there watching and think, what have I just watched? But it was good. It was very good.
I'll check it out. What's it
Yeah.
about, if you don't mind?
It's very weird. It seems to be like this couple and they have a baby, but it's not a baby as such. But if I say too much of it, it'll sort of spoil it, really, and goes through all this, the whole psychological aspect of that, and the way the film angles are, and that is very, very creepy.
That kind of reminds me of there's this movie I watched. It's not on my list, but it was a good movie. It's about this little girl gets adopted, and come to find out she's not actually a little girl. She's like 30 or 40 years old, and she murdered her last family and shit.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
I forget the name of the movie. People in the comments might be able to help out. But it's about this little girl. They think she's like 16 or whatever, but she's actually like older. And she killed her last family, and she has some kind of genetic disorder.
Yeah. All right.
Number 2 will always be in the top 10 for me. Scream.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 3 as well. I've got a number 3.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah. Clockwork Orange, another psychological one again, but that was very good.
You're more on the psychological side than
I like the psychological horror. Definitely.
See, my favorite psychological horror film is Star Wars, A New Hope.
Oh, really? Mine was the cast of some kind of monster. No, I'm joking.
So, what was your number 2 pick, Gorak? I said Scream. I think we already covered Scream with a couple of you guys. Yeah. So, what was your number 2?
Number 2 will probably have to be. See this one's hard because it was between a toss-up between the first Halloween film and I would probably go with Fast and the Furious. No, I'm joking.
The new one?
Yeah. Black Adam. No, Black Adam was cool. I'll probably go with fucking hell. This is hard. It's so hard. Does Edward Scissorhands count as a horror film?
I guess.
Yeah, because Johnny Depp terrified me in that fucking movie when I was a young kid.
Gorak's top 2 horror movie of all time is fucking Edward Scissorhands. Write that down.
I'll probably go with maybe the first Saw film.
Classic.
The second one. Yeah. It's hard because there's so many good horror films out there to pick.
How about you, Tony? Number 2.
Man, my list of honorable mentions is like way longer than this top 10. Man, number 2. Which Jason movie was it where he finally got the hockey mask?
Second one.
Was the second one?
Yeah, he starts off with like a potato sack on his head, and then he gets a mask.
No, I'd say that one.
A pillowcase?
Yeah, it was a pillowcase. That's what it was. In the remake, it was a potato sack.
Oh, okay.
That one. That was a good one. That was part 2. I forget what the full title was, but it was Friday the 13th part 2.
I think it's just called part 2, isn't it?
I think it might have just been part 2. They didn't start having full names till 3 or 4. How about you, Naomi? Is it another psychological?
No, it isn't this time. It's Scream.
Scream. We both had that as number 2.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant film.
Now we're at number 1 top horror movie of all time. So for me, it is House of a Thousand Corpses. I know Rob Zombie gets a lot of hate for his horror movies, but fuck you, I love them. House of a Thousand Corpses is so quotable. That and Devil's Rejects. I'd do both of them side by side. Like, don't you like fucking clowns? If you don't tell me why you don't like clowns, I'll come back and kill your whole goddamn family. Like that fucking, it's classic. How about you, Greg?
Number 1's Halloween, 1978. It's the new wave of horror back then, I think. It's hard to pick good movies, like horror movies, man. There's so many, old and new. You know, I could have put Us in my top 5 by Jordan Peele. Us. That movie was trippy as fuck. They were seeing double. Maybe like the reboot of The Invisible Man was good. Like, yeah, it's hard, you know. So I was gonna go with the Banana Splits movie that was based on the children's show. See, I would have picked Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey if that was released now.
Dude, we need to What was that, Tony?
I've been waiting for that to come out.
It's coming
Yeah.
out in December, ain't it?
I think so. Is it streaming services?
I do believe. And the guy that did that's a freaking genius. He bought the copyright out from under Disney.
That's hilarious.
He should do that with more movies, like and more
The Grinch
TV
is
shows.
getting a horror movie.
Oh yeah, I saw that. The Grinch has a horror movie coming out. They need to do a Dora the Explorer horror movie where she gets like killed by Swiper.
Have you
Number
seen the
one-
Banana Split movie?
No, I have not.
So yeah, it's pretty much based on the children's TV series that was like in the 60s or 70s or whatever it is. But it was kind of like that Child's Play reboot, how the guy fucks with a doll or whatever, and they turn all evil and shit.
Mhm.
It's like this. It's kind of like that with that. It's kind of like that in that movie. But I think the Child's Play reboot copied that from that one. But
So Banana Splits is a horror movie, but it's designed around a kids movie.
yeah, but like they kill people on set and shit.
They should do that with Barney.
Yeah.
How about you,
Or the
Tony?
Wiggles.
The Wiggles. How about you, Tony? Number one horror movie of all time.
The Nicolas Cage Superman movie.
That never came out. I'd say Kazam, because you've never seen Shaq act. You don't know how good of a horror movie that is. 'Cause it's terrible.
Man, probably since I'm such a fan of the character, I'll probably go ahead and say Wes Craven's Last Nightmare.
Yeah, that was good too. I thought
That was a
great.
good one. That was a
Yeah.
great one. Love it. How about you, Naomi? Your favorite horror movie of all
I'll
time?
have to go after this because I'm taking my daughter trick-or-treating.
You're good. We're probably going to end it here shortly because
Alright,
it is
yeah.
going on an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, so when I've said I'll have to go and go
Okay.
out with her before it gets too late.
You're
But
good.
it's my number one. It's got to be Peppa Pig, especially when you see Peppa Pig forwards facing. I mean, that's terrifying. No, really. My favourite is it's a series again, not a film, but it's American Horror Story.
Oh, I heard that's so good.
Brilliant, absolutely
Murder
brilliant
House is always
series.
my
Yeah.
favorite one.
I'm gonna let you go, Naomi, since you have to go
Yeah.
trick or treating.
I've
Thank you
got
for
to go
joining us.
trick-or-treating. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah, and happy
problem.
Halloween, everyone.
You too. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Yeah, see
Oh,
ya.
look, Tony's got
Bye.
the Freddy Krueger jacket.
Oh, cool.
That's cool. Show us again.
Very cool.
Here, I'll show you these.
Oh, brilliant.
Dude,
They're covered
Oh,
in
that's
Dude.
some cool kick.
Excellent. Right. I'll see you, everyone.
I'll see you.
See ya.
Dear.
Yeah,
Have fun.
bye. Yeah, thanks. We will.
See ya.
So, did you guys want to do honorable mentions?
What's that?
Honorable mentions, some that we didn't list.
The Conjuring series.
Conjuring series, great fucking series.
Yeah, dude, The Devil Made Me Do It. The last one was really good. I really enjoyed that one.
I also have been getting into a lot of horror movie TV series lately. Like the Chucky series, as I stated before. Have you guys seen the Scream TV series?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into it.
The first season was cool.
So-
that was a little bit better.
So that Conjuring TV or that Conjuring movie series, like I can't remember which movie it was, but there was a scene in it where they looked in a corner where they thought something was there. They looked back, and then they looked back at that corner, and right when they looked back in that corner, it was like this big Satan head looking thing. That was the
Yeah.
hardest I've ever jumped in my fucking life.
that was kind of like that scene in The Nun in the
Yeah.
beginning or something, how she kind of creeps up from behind. I didn't like that movie either. That should have been one of my worst ones as well.
Isn't the Nun part
How
of
about
the
the Babadook?
Conjuring?
Oh, that was fucking weird as shit, but I enjoyed it, man. I
Didn't they
really
make-
enjoyed that movie. That
Didn't
and
they
The
make a
Visit.
couple? Didn't they make a couple of those movies? The Babadook or whatever it's called.
Nah, I think they only made the one.
I only know of the
Oh,
one.
I thought they made a sequel, but they might be just
I have no
working
idea.
on it.
Yeah,
Now,
the
I do
Beverly
have-
was cool.
I do have honorable mentions for the worst horror movies.
Don't say Velocipaster, you prick.
Velocipaster wasn't a horror movie; it was a fucking comedy.
Hey, ripped off the fucking dude's head.
Like we mentioned before, the Child's Play remake will always be like the worst serious horror movie of all time. That was released in wasn't it released in theaters?
Yeah.
It was the last Child's Play.
Unfortunately, people
It was the
actually
last-
paid money to see that shit.
I
It was
did.
the last Child's Play in theaters.
My favorite kill in that movie was when that dude was coming home to his wife and his wife and kids after he was having like an affair with Andy's mom or whatever it was, and then how he was doing the Christmas lights, and then Chucky went past and knocked the ladder off or whatever it was, and he landed on both of his ankles and they both snapped.
Ooh,
I thought that
a
was kind of
hard.
cool.
Yeah, it was rough.
That
That
was
was a
kind of
rough
cool.
one.
That
No, the death at the beginning of Halloween Ends was hard to watch a little bit. That kid.
oh yeah,
Fucking-
see his head bounce up like when he's
Yeah, kid
Dude.
fucking flying off the railing and fucking boom and fucking.
Here's a movie I am surprised nobody has on their list, but it's an honorable mention.
What is
Pet
it?
Cemetery.
That is a good one.
yeah.
I don't even know how that slipped my mind.
Mm.
That kid getting plowed by that semi truck, dude.
Ooh, that's. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's the reason my wife still won't watch that fucking movie.
Because of that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those type of things is hard to watch as well. Like,
Two things you can't kill in horror movies: dogs and kids.
yeah.
I mean, you can. Man, there ain't no coming back from that.
Right?
No.
Oh.
I've seen the reboot of Pet Cemetery, and apparently the reboot is pretty much exactly the same like the original.
Thank God.
Thank goodness.
I'm getting
did
tired of these reboots of horror movies, and they're like completely left field from the original.
Did you guys watch the
Yeah.
sequel of? Did you guys watch the sequel of The Shining yet?
Yes, Dr.
Dr.
Smoke.
Sleep.
Or no, Dr.
Fucking-
Sleep, I mean.
Yeah, fucking
Dr.
good.
Sleep. That was cool. Ewan McGregor was really great in that movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I'd put
I saw
that.
that in theaters.
I'd put that as an honorable mention
Yep.
because The Shining was on there. But guys, we're probably gonna wrap this up because it's going on like an hour and a half.
Yeah, we're going Joe Rogan times.
We're going Joe Rogan
Oh, that's
time
3
now.
hours, man.
But Tony, if you want to join us in the next couple weeks for more talk, you're more than welcome to. I do believe we have a guest next week, Steve Walker. He did send me an email. I'm not sure if he's still showing
You
up or
related
not.
to Luke Skywalker?
I don't know. Did you know that Luke Skywalker's original name in the series was supposed to be Luke Starkiller?
I'm
Oh,
glad it
really?
wasn't.
Do you know why they changed it?
Why?
No.
Around that time, Charles Manson and his
Wow.
family killed those celebrities, and George Lucas was like, "Well, I think Starkiller would be kind of an inappropriate name now," so he changed it
But
to
they used that name
Skywalker.
later in the movie series, anyways.
Yeah, and as a like a ode to the original name, but
Yeah.
they waited long after the whole thing settled.
God, like, remember when they made that whole planet Death Star? They named it Starkiller Base.
Yep, that's why they did it. It was in kind of an ode to the original Star Wars in a way, but they didn't want to do that right away because that would have been fucking. Oh, you know that guy that just killed all those celebrities? Well, we have a main character called Luke Starkiller.
I'm waiting for them to come out with a horror movie, like kind of like a biopic type thing about the Manson family.
I think they did, but it didn't do too well. I
They
believe.
Isn't that
kind
Wolves-
of
Wolves at
touched,
the Door?
on it a little bit with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but
Yeah, that was cool.
No,
That was
Devil's Rejects was loosely based on the Manson family, and they used a couple quotes from the Manson family for their for Rob Zombie's characters, but they never did an actual Manson family
not
movie.
to mention you watch what's his name? Fuck. Bill Moseley's character in the third movie, when he's giving that speech inside that jail cell, that is some Manson shit.
Yeah.
Yep. Actually, did you know that in Devil's Rejects, Bill Moseley's character is actually based around Tex Watson, a Manson family member?
Really?
That line in the movie where he says, "I'm the devil and I'm here to do the devil's work," was actually said by Tex Watson right before he killed everyone in that fucking house.
That's like the best line ever.
Yeah, that's a real quote. That's fucking crazy. But Tony, we're gonna get off here because we don't want to like keep this too long because people are gonna be like, "Oh, I ain't gonna watch that fucking movie." But thank you for tuning in, brother. Thank you for all of your support, and thank you for being part of the show still. We love having you on. We do have this Wednesday, we're going to be talking about Krampus, the 2015 horror movie.
Fucking great movie, man.
Are we going to talk about Anna's Slay at some point?
Next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to join us for that.
I think I'll be at work, but I'll listen in.
Okay, buddy. Well, it was nice talking to you, Tony. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and listening. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let us know what your favorite spooky movies are. And as always, love y'all. Live long.
Kim Kardashian sex tape.
I don't know. I think the Tommy Lee sex tape is scarier because I've never seen anybody take a horse dick before. Anyway.